In December 2009, the 4C Association and the Vietnamese Department of Crop Production of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development invited stakeholders of the Vietnamese coffee sector to the first workshop on sustainable coffee development in Vietnam. Over 80 national and international participants, farmers, Vietnamese government officials, coffee exporters, roasters, research institutions, and support organizations jointly discussed the main sustainability challenges facing the Vietnamese coffee sector. Participants exchanged lessons learned from the implementation of sustainability standards, such as the ones of the 4C Association, UTZ Certified, and Rainforest Alliance. They also provided recommendations on how to build a more sustainable Vietnamese coffee sector.
The coffee sector in Vietnam has developed very fast in terms of expanded growing areas and increased yield. Hence, a highly intensive farming approach was taken. But that approach led to unsustainable development. Therefore, for the Vietnamese coffee sector, with around 1/2 million hectares and 1 million tons of products, sustainable development is now inevitable. We therefore support the 4C approach in all aspects.
The 4C Association started its activities in Vietnam in 2007.
I think the 4C Association was the first organization that came to Vietnam to really raise awareness on sustainable coffee production in three aspects: looking at the environment, social issues, and of course the economic viability. And I think by having had these regular workshops and meetings with all the different stakeholders, because that was also new at that time, having the roasters, the traders, the farmers and the policymakers around the same table, that was new for the Vietnamese. So that has really triggered more and more discussion, and I think that has really started to open the door for sustainability.
The core instrument of the 4C Association to promote sustainability in the coffee sector is the 4C Code of Conduct. The code sets out social, environmental, and economic principles for the sustainable production, processing, and trading of green coffee. The implementation of the 4C Code of Conduct by Vietnamese coffee farmers is already showing positive results.
So we've seen an improvement in the maintenance of the farms, and they've done the weeding very well. And so in terms of pesticide management, we find they've reduced the pesticides that they've used, and also they've been more conscious on reducing the usage of water in irrigation, and basically reducing their costs in production. And secondly, in terms of improving the quality, we've certainly been training them to pick the ripe cherries, and also the drying is very important.
Tai Hoa Group, a leading exporting company, has established a 4C unit in Vietnam's Central Highlands. Those 4,500 smallholder farmers who are part of the unit are applying more sustainable agricultural practices. This has a positive impact on their livelihoods.
The first benefit that we, the farmers, get from Tai Hoa's 4C project is about the farming techniques for coffee trees. The second benefit is that it is more beneficial to sell harvested beans to Tai Hoa than to sell to other small collectors, since Tai Hoa rewards better quality.
Sustainability does not happen overnight. It requires time and awareness rising. For instance, farmers must learn that picking unripe coffee cherries is unsustainable and impacts negatively on the quality of the coffee. But implementing sustainability standards on a large scale requires more than only the efforts of coffee farmers and private companies. The support of the government is crucial in Vietnam. The government is strongly committed to this goal.
As the 4C coordinator of the company, I see no difficulty in implementing 4C because we collaborate with the local authorities. Local authorities and farmers supported the program enthusiastically.
Following the program proposal on coffee sector development towards sustainable production and trade in Vietnam until 2020. The Vietnamese government actively promotes sustainable agricultural practices.
The main goal of the Sustainable Coffee Development Program in Vietnam is to promote the development of the sector in all three environmental, social, and economic dimensions.
The Vietnamese government considers the 4C approach to sustainability as one which is in line with its own ideas on sustainable development.
With the continuous improvement process and the comprehensive code covering environmental, social, and economic dimensions, the 4C concept perfectly fits our understanding of sustainable coffee development in Vietnam. That is why we think that the implementation of the 4C code will contribute substantially to the sustainable development of the Vietnamese coffee sector.
At the Sustainability Forum, the Vietnamese Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the 4C Association agreed on intensifying their cooperation on capacity building, quality improvement, traceability, and organizational development of farmers.
We will work on support services, scaling up, revising the concept, working further with different organizations in the different countries, focusing mainly on smallholders' benefits, and enabling continuous improvement and progress for the farmers already involved in the system.
In Vietnam, the 4C Association coordinates its activities through the 4C local office in Buon Ma Thuột.
The 4C Association will give active support through capacity training programs, especially to provide smallholders with access to information so that they may gradually improve agricultural practices.
Following the successful forum in Vietnam, the 4C Association has been organizing similar events in the different coffee-producing regions. The 4C Association, joining forces for a better coffee world.